said that it would be,
Yeah.
I'm not saying
So
that we
pretty
are,
much
so let's not
everybody-
get
So
that.
where's that 16 cents at, Diane?
Well, it's four
Is-
hundred, oh, no, it's not on here. In fact, that doesn't really match this because I didn't include grants and all that in here.
Okay.
But on page 25 of the general fund, the $435,000 is what will be the internal fund balance.
Okay.
What,
down here.
what are we estimated for in
Where do you see it on here?
Page 25.
See?
Oh,
That's our
yeah,
deficit.
it's in brackets. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. that-
Because
what
we
she
got,
said.
we got some, we have, is it this year or next year, we gotta have that, we're supposed to have that $1 million?
Oh, we'll have that. I mean, we had
This
that
year?
last year. I mean, for 18-19, we
Yeah,
ended
we
with
had-
$1.2 million.
We're supposed to be at 1.3, wasn't it, last year?
Well, it started at $1 million. but
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay.
But $1.3 million was the,
Are we projected to be at 1.9?
yeah, and I actually think that'll be higher because sometimes I estimate high on
Right
this.
here, is our ending balance 1.9?
Estimated.
Yeah. Unless, something unforeseen.
You think it could be higher?
Possibly.
That's June of this year, right?
Yeah, that's really good. That's really
So
good.
you wouldn't have to raise taxes to fund that, but you're still gonna eat into your fund balance, which you don't wanna do.
Which you
Yeah.
don't wanna do, right.
We don't end up like.
Oh, we're definitely
Yes.
gonna have some cuts.
Yeah.
There's no
Oh, yeah.
way around it.
Yep.
I mean, you just can't, I mean, everybody asks for everything, yeah, and you just gotta whittle it down like you say.
Isn't that the way everybody does
Yeah,
it? You
yeah.
always ask for the moon, and expect
Yeah.
something on the
Yeah,
earth.
exactly.
You have to do it at your house, and you
Yeah,
have to do
and
it.
it may be, we look at these and say, come back with a 10%
Right.
reduction in your
Yep.
budget, which would drop that $400,000 down a lot.
That's what I'm saying, do you know, like, all the offices, like, which
Well-
ones have new, seem like. you
Which
know,
ones have increases and which ones
Well,
don't?
and have new employees, like, some of them all may be new, and some of them may have been there for a long time.
Well, I can tell you about that. I can get you higher dates. In
But
fact, Sandy
in fact,
included it.
yeah,
Yeah, she didn't send that to me, but.
we got it.
I don't think I printed it off,
I
but.
can print it off next round, and it lays out how much everybody's making, how long they've been here, their names, and where they work. It's very good. She done a good job on it.
Yeah.
But again, if we go back to what Mark was saying, you just instead of, you just give up.
And we did that when Glenn was on the committee.
Yes,
We
yes.
went back, said, cut it X
Yeah, you cut it.
percent. And that
I
worked.
mean, I can tell you right now, that ain't for me.
Oh, no, I'm never gonna vote for that like that. There's no
I'm
way.
out on that.
I mean, like you say, that's a 16.
Well, 16 cents, and on top of it, 400, if you don't do it that way, it's gonna give you your fund balance.
Yeah. Well, to fund the 435,000, we'd have to raise it to 16 cents.
Yeah.
Or no cents, and it drop it down to 1.5, wouldn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
The only thing you'd have to consider on that, and I'm just thinking about it, if you just come through and say, okay, you gotta reduce it 10%, you'd have to almost go back and look at the different budgets, because somebody may have put a big increase, the other guy may be living right close to his, so it's not right to ask him to decrease
Exactly.
his.
You're right.
So you'd have to go back and look at them,
Each individual.
each individual, to try to get some kind of adjusting, so that everybody gives, but the guy who, and if that were the case, man, every year I'd put a budget in for
Yeah,
way,
$1
way
million,
higher.
yeah, right. Yeah.
They're not gonna cut me that much, because I'm,
Yeah,
and that's
right.
not fair to those, so you'd have to do some selection there. But it, it's like you got a cutoff. This is where last year's budget, this is where you increased it, you're gonna have to get right.
Well, so how do, then I guess that goes back to what we're gonna do as far as decide which department heads to meet with.
Yeah.
I would definitely say the sheriff,
Mhm.
would y'all,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
you like, ambulance,
Yep.
you like that?
Yeah, and he doesn't, Dick doesn't have there's like a $6,600 increase, but,
Still good to go over his budget?
Yeah.
What's
but
this
you
one
can-
with the judicial commission with 34.6%?
Susan just put in a raise for the judicial commissioners, which, that's up to y'all if you want to
They're
give.
the ones that,
Yeah, 34%.
yeah, I mean, that may be something we come back and say, hey, you don't have to do, like everybody else, 2%.
Well, that's what I'm saying, yeah, but
Yeah.
Because how much money was that?
that's going
It was
16,000.
Yeah, it was raised from
60.
27 to 40.
And that's what,
for their
3
salaries.
people?
Yeah.
Did we raise that last year?
We did.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Three.
There you go.
So this is item 8 there, who you gonna meet with? You got the
Sheriff,
sheriff,
ambulance.
and ambulance, and who else?
Who else?
Um, really maybe the fire department. And I know Tim Bell wanted to, talk to you all about
What about
the truck loan.
What about 911?
He's not asking for any more.
Okay, so then we
We
don't.
don't,
Dan, where's
They
the
just-
comparison in there, this year's budget to last year?
Last year's the very last, tab.
1920 budget.
Okay, 1920 budget.
So you can look, you know, you have to go through each individual department, that's why I did that spreadsheet, which is a little easier to see, but.
And then 16% on the county budget, that's just admin, is that just for the
Well,
driver's license?
that's for the driver's
That's what I was
license.
going to look at.
Those are the general fund, the paper she gave me.
That's for the driver's license staff.
I was
not
gonna say,
necessary-
she's gonna have to have more people.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this though.
Oh, she'll have to have more people to run there?
And Lena
Yeah,
actually
because-
wanted to come and explain that to you too. but-
Well, the way I understand it though, the state, if we do this, is gonna give us $10 per license. So that will actually fund itself.
Yeah,
She told me they already
So
sold
we really
seven
want, I mean,
passports.
she may need an extra person, but the license we get actually,
Say the
She told
passport
me-
sales go down for a while.
well, she said Saturday
They've been
they did
getting
like
a lot.
8 passports, I think she told me.
hey, and once we get this driver's license thing, that Saturday is gonna be booming because nobody goes in on Saturday.
Now, is she talking about giving the federal license? Whatever it costs in order to approve
But you're not gonna be open in town on Saturday.
She can't do that real ID, she can't do that.
She can?
I don't think so.
I
Yeah,
thought
she
she
told me
could.
she couldn't.
I don't
The
know.
real ID?
The real ID, I
With
don't
the
think she
star
can do
thing?
that, yeah.
Why would you, if she can't give that, why do
Why
it
would
at
you
all?
have, yeah.
Well,
Ask her
after
about
this, after October, then everybody's supposed to have it by October.
Yeah, that's what they say, it's gonna be.
Yeah, but, you know, Donna went to get it over at McMinnville, and boy, it's a bear.
That's what I'm saying, so that takes, I mean, you're in there 2 to 3 hours.
I could
Really,
be wrong,
yeah,
but
it is.
I understood her to say that she couldn't do the real ID, but I could be wrong.
Well,
We really need to, I mean, invest that much then if you can't do that, because that's gonna be mandatory.
The only thing I know she told me was on the actual technicalities of doing passports and driver's license, you had to have separation of duties. Same person can't have access to the same information.
for the terrorist.
Yeah.
That's
And
why
when
she
Donna
got
went to
the
McMinnville, her
separate.
passport wouldn't even, they wouldn't even use her passport for her, you had to have your original birth certificate, some bills of where you live, and all the addresses.
Social
You know,
security
when-
number.
with them changing the addresses
Please.
out there on us, that's a whole new.
No, it's been, I'm having so much trouble with that.
Whew, we are
That's
too.
caused so much trouble.
I put down both of them, 79, 18.
I'm still using my old one because it's caused so much trouble. The driver's license
So-
won't even give me a new address yet. I mean, when we went
That's
out
what
there the
that's
first
what
time.
they were.
So, and then,
Election office,
Back,
that's-
back to where we was at, sheriff, EMS, and fire.
sheriff, ambulance,
so election office.
Well, there's 2 elections. August
that's
and
what I was
That's
wondering if
okay,
that was
okay.
That's what
increased.
So that's what
his-
that is.
Yeah,
Register of deeds, I guess I'm just walking down through that, is that the mandatory deal?
Sandy's
And a little raise?
is the raise and her state mandate.
All right,
Yeah,
so.
that's-
Property assessor, same thing,
yes.
mandatory and that trustee, same
Same
thing.
thing.
County clerk, same thing, except for the driver's license.
Right.
And circuit court, it's 9%. But it says
Circuit
gonna
court,
include
that's
7.
that's 10, or the 10.
For the
She's
county
got a
buildings,
7%
is
increase
that
for staff.
a lot for work over there, or?
Yeah, that's.
Okay.
Is that on there on my piece of
that's
paper?
where it goes.
Yeah.
And then general sessions,
Now, that may solve itself if I get the
Right.
$250,000
From,
from Clark Boyd. The amount of, huh? That's a lot.
Oh, wait, oh,
That building
I was
there.
asking about the
old Curry deal, we're trying to get them to buy it. And they're actually very receptive to buying it, remodeling it for us, and then leasing it back.
that's been horrible, this part, to have it.
Chancery Court, is that the raise?
Because they own it, but yet.
What was general sessions, was that raised?
Yeah,
you know,
that's
they
all
do
hers.
offset.
All right,
Is she-
and
Think she
the
does.
judicial commission is pretty big jump.
Yeah, that's a big,
Probation, that's $81. Sheriff's Department, that was a pretty big increase. Do we know what that's about yet?
mainly staff, 3% increase for their staff. Okay.
After what we gave them last year.
What about jail?
Yeah, same thing.
Fire departments?
They have a $12,000 increase, and it's just basically several line items that they increase that don't.
Well, I mean, I do know that the air packs,
aren't the air packs about to go out of date? So that's something in the
That
future
they put.
that will have to be, I don't know if that's what Michael put in there, I don't
I
know.
wasn't
And we
here that
got-
meeting, so I can't tell you.
I know that will be coming up in
On the capital outlay, 76,100 down at the very bottom, which staying with 8,200.
That's that loan payment on the.
Oh, yeah,
that
that's
truck.
right, that's that truck.
So that's what Tim wanted to come and talk to
But
you.
what about
guys.
capital outlay though for what we talked about, what Brian's put out?
Well, that's not really in the general fund. We're talking about doing a separate fund
For that?
but now that, some of this we won't. Some of these are just, like the old hospital, of course, that's not gonna come out of general fund, but some of that won't be like, what am I trying to say?
On this sheet right here, you can
Did
almost
we not
decide
have-
who's gonna,
Did we not
what
have
you're
a
gonna do real
fund
easy.
for capital
This is-
outlets? Did we
We
not?
do have.
But you don't really
we
need
just
to
don't
use the
have
commission,
money.
right, or you just.
Oh.
put it-
Well, we did used
We
to.
don't meet with
We
the
quit,
commission,
right?
because-
We didn't?
We never
I think we just, yeah, because theirs is
No,
just
not-
strictly raised.
No, we've never.
So I mean, we can't give them a 34%
If we did
raise.
if we actually did, say, do a capital outlay with money put into it, the comptroller would do cheetah flips.
Oh,
For
they
the county
would.
account, there would be a stack. Because that is the textbook academic answer of how do you do budgets. Is that you set aside capital outlay, you identify everything you want to do now, what you have to do now, what you want to do in the next, years, and then you fund that with money. That's really hard to do. I mean, you're setting aside money, pennies, but it's 25,000, 50,000. It's really hard to do. That is the textbook answer.
But if we said,
I thought we
hey,
did do that before we started buying fire trucks. I thought that's what we bought some of them with, and then,
was that on debt service?
No, no, no.
is it debt service?
Debt service, yeah. Capital outlay is, it's stuff like for the old Adams Hospital. Again, you can buy fire trucks with it, you can buy police cars with it. It's just
And
money.
even if we
that's-
started at a penny, at
Yeah.
least that's a start.
Yeah,
That's a start.
I mean, I can see us putting
Well,
in
because
2
like you're saying,
cents and
that,
doing that for.
your,
Yeah.
outlay.
It's kind of like the archive.
Stuff we can look
It's
Yeah,
kind of like
at.
the archive. It's kind of like, the same
It's like
thing
putting in the saving
with
account.
her driver's
If you start
license.
looking at
It's
it,
money
somewhere.
that funds it, and you set it aside.
Actually,
The hard part
$25,000.
is to really
Yeah.
identify what's
Actually, I
the
think
need,
bring it
what's the
a little more
county's
than that.
needs, what are the priorities.
Yeah.
We
And
got,
again,
we got a lot
What
of
about the
things.
digital,
About what
that's just
priorities
raises
are.
and then
Yes.
say something about building
Like,
maintenance?
They
Then also,
added
like
some
say, you
stuff
get-
there, they just need to work.
hopefully, we got, $100,000 to fix
That ag
this.
committee.
I mean, and if you think about it, we're buying 20-year-old fire trucks. I mean,
Okay.
or older.
Yeah,
They
it
put some
is
stuff in there for
theoretically
building
designed to
maintenance,
replace your fire
basically, just to do some.
After things.
Yeah, he
appreciate
explained that.
out,
Yeah. They
you
got
have
some-
your capital outlay fund,
some
and
real problems.
I know that building's-
schedule here.
Like all of them, it's all,
Yeah.
so.
It's something. that
But all you gotta do is tell them, suck
we
it
can
up.
help the
You ain't
future.
got no money to share, suck it up.
Well,
Instead of somebody
But, I mean,
coming up
is
here
this
the
on
night,
this
whenever
county
something tears up,
budget,
blows
that-
up,
that
falls
you're-
apart, and they say, we need $100,000.
I was gonna say, man, these
Of
folks
course,
up here,
it'll
they
still
got,
be
they got a
approved
little
by the
list.
commission.
Right.
I know, I said it looks bad, but it's not as bad.
Right.
Well, you just have to explain it, that's all.
Yeah.
You'll have to go through.
so the sheriff, ambulance, and fire,
We can
that's the
take care
3
of
we
that
will see.
capital
What
outlay.
about, what'd you say about
Or
search
we
support?
can
That
at
was
least pay the down payment while
That's
we
just
borrow the
raises.
Right.
just
Yes, sir.
that 9%, there's 9%.
Yeah, I think her.
She's got a state mandated raise plus 7% of her
That's right,
employees.
that's right, that's right.
And,
Well, it said it didn't include 719, what's 719?
last year she had put some money, and actually I think she did have some funds. She does have funds to cover hers, a computer upgrade.
Okay.
So I didn't
She
put that
does.
as, yeah, but her, like, she collects a fee that covered that, and so does Dana. They collect the fee that covered theirs,
Which is great, because, I mean, then taxpayers don't foot the bill.
yeah.
Does the sheriff department, do they answer for the jail?
Yeah.
So they all come
Yeah.
together.
Two different
both of
And-
budgets there.
And is that money for the jail, is that like going towards a capital improvement or something like that?
I
or
think
is
it's
that-
raises.
No,
is that
it's-
just-
Mainly raises and, like their
Maintenance and
medicals
raises,
in that
operations.
bill, building maintenance is in that one. They've had a lot of leaks this
Plus,
year.
plus they have, doctor bills and stuff they have to pay out of that too.
Yeah.
Nurse.
Cars.
Does the cars come out of there, out of the
Cars
jail?
don't come out of that? No, like
They're
comes
not
out of
the
the sheriff, yeah.
Not their maintenance.
Yeah, it comes out of sheriff.
I don't have the, increase on the property and vehicle insurance yet. I talked to Tom, and of course they were busy with the tornado. But he said, maybe go ahead and factor in 3 or 4%, but that's just an estimate. He said it probably won't be that much. I haven't changed it
He's
yet.
been able to use some of his drug fund too, to fund some of the vehicles in the
Yeah.
past,
I think he bought 2 cars out of it.
which is really good too, it saves us some money.
And then we won't have to meet with like the county, unless you find out about that star, I guess.
Yeah, I'll ask Lana. Did you?
Well, Lana wanted to meet with us, so,
Okay, so put her down too.
yeah.
Can I
Do you
just?
wanna put her on
Yes.
that one?
Questions on
She
this
said,
thing?
yes,
What
she
is
will have the
judicial
ability to
commission?
do the real
Oh,
They,
ID.
They got-
I was wrong.
She said,
35%.
That's all raises.
What is-
Those are,
There's 3 people.
there's 3 judicial commissioners, and they, every time somebody's arrested, they have to go over to the
yeah,
jail.
instead of them calling
Yes.
Susan in the middle of the night, they call the judicial and they set the bond.
Yeah.
All
Not
that.
the one like if somebody's taking.
Because otherwise
Yeah,
Susan will
somebody
be
wants to
costing.
They're
go,
on
them.
call.
we're not with somebody,
Susan.
they have to go right.
They're on
So she not,
call.
so you don't have to be woke up in, is that the idea?
Hey, here's what Lana said. She said, yes, that she would have the ability to do the real ID and those bills to give us extra money past the subcommittee in the House and the Senate to move on to the full transportation committee. So that would be, if it passes everything, it'll be $10 per license
And it
that
used to
we
be
get.
4.
Used to be 4, so they've increased it by
That's
6.
well
And
worth
will
it,
they
but now,
stay
does the
now,
state
she'll stay in
not
that
help
office,
us
so
fund
they
any of
don't
that?
ring
Other than just they, you
Well,
give us $10?
That's what they give us,
They
the
put
$10.
license.
She's gonna have a driver's license of one.
Which basically would pay for her person, plus probably give her
Have
one,
2 different offices.
which is what we want.
What?
It would pay for her person to do that job, and then probably give her a little money too. Because I'm telling you, whenever people find out on that Saturday deal,
I know.
they are going to be up here at 8 o'clock in the
Well,
morning.
now, they don't just do it on Saturday.
No,
it,
they
you know,
do.
I mean, all
But
week.
see, a lot of people
A lot
Are
of places,
closed.
they
are
don't on
closed on
Saturday.
Saturdays.
Yeah.
So there's nobody else open on
And
Saturdays
Mac
except
Memphis ain't
us, so
open on
everybody's
Saturday.
gonna come up here to get their license.
I believe Mac Memphis only open 4 days
Take
a
a, take a,
week.
take a seat.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
no,
you
it'll
go.
be crazy.
Take a Uber.
So sheriff, ambulance, and I know, just like I said, Tim wanted to come, so we'll just put him, we'll put fire and rescue on the same
Fire
line.
rescue, yeah, I like that, fire rescue.
So, the sheriff usually, we probably just need to him by himself.
I agree,
That takes a
totally.
while. And then we could put Deck probably with the fire and rescue.
That'd be
and
good.
ambulance, put all them
Yeah,
together.
sheriff is definitely by himself, because he'll have to go through 2 budgets,
Yeah.
the jail and his department.
So, and I was gonna tell y'all too, if you have like questions before we meet again, if you'll call me or email me in case it's something I need to look up or, you know, numbers I need to give you. We won't be sitting here and, you know,
No.
not know. I can look it up for you, but,
Well, when do we
You
want
said Lana
to?
wants to meet, so you could meet with her, and then if there's any other departments like that you would want to meet with.
Make with Lana when, I mean, on first maintenance or.
They're in there.
This
I guess
first,
You said ambulance, fire and rescue, all on the same night, and then sheriff probably said, and then you want to do county clerk and if any other department.
yeah, I could just send out an email if anybody wants to come.
Yeah, I think that'd be good, just say, hey, if you wanna come, we're gonna meet this day, if you
No,
wanna show
what I'm
up.
saying is like the other county officers.
You could, I mean, that's what, yeah, just send out one email.
on the,
say,
on the head, department heads, let's set them with certain ones for certain meetings. But on, any other commissioners, if they wanna come, send them a
You mean,
email
county
or
elected officials, or you talking about commissioners?
commissioners.
Okay.
Or anybody else that wants to sit in on the meeting, but I'm talking,
No. Do we want to set a time limit and try to stick to that? You know, last year, we had people sitting out here 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait.
And that's what I was gonna ask y'all too, if you're gonna have on Thursday nights, is there any way we can start at 6 and stuff?
we don't necessarily have to meet on Thursday nights.
We don't,
Because I'm closed till 6.
we let,
so
we-
trying to-
I'm
I had to
going
get-
6.
I had to get Brandon up
Yeah,
there.
but if it's a night, I gotta work, I have to be there at 7, so.
So you close every night at 6?
Except for Wednesday night, church night.
Okay.
And my girl just quit, well, she didn't quit, but she's taking a leave. Well, having that.
So you're just there to get it. You're there to get the virus.
Yeah.
All right, so, well, that was gonna be my next question, on Wednesday night. I think to get this done by June, we need to go ahead and start. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
ready to,
I say
Are
next
you
Thursday,
off
or,
on certain nights?
Say every week,
well, I mean,
Like
I'm
a
okay
Monday,
working around your
Tuesday.
schedule.
Yeah, I don't care, I mean, if
and
we
then
do
next
it.
week I'll be working Monday, Tuesday, and the next week I'll
So
be
you're off next Thursday?
No, I have to work next Thursday,
what time you gonna work?
7.
So Tuesday, you're off next Tuesday.
If I work next week I work Wednesday, Thursday, I'll be off Tuesday.
All right, well, let's do it next Tuesday, if that's. all right.
17th?
That works.
Is that good with you?
I'm trying to think if I was, how you have a meeting second.
Oh, let me look too.
No, this is the most important.
Let me look at my calendar.
Where's the,
No,
that'll be a Thursday, the twenty-sixth, right, for yours?
Finance committee meets on the twenty-sixth, and then, has that meeting been set with the IDB yet, for sure?
That's the 24th.
What time?
But
would
is
it
that
be?
for sure
Six?
set?
Back-
Well, I mean, that's right now it is.
Okay.
6 on Tuesday, the 17th.
I'm good with that.
That's not St. Patty's.
That's, yeah, that should be.
Go ahead, don't bother me, I'm just.
Everybody's gotta work.
Can we do a couple meetings in advance? Like, do the, and then, I mean, like the 17th, and then work around your next schedule too, and do, let's do 2 meetings.
You may go ahead and
In a
schedule.
week.
Go ahead and
two.
schedule.
How often
Yeah.
are you gonna meet? That's what I'm
I mean, it'd be hard to schedule 3 months out, but let's do 2 meetings.
Yeah,
And then that next week, depending on like 26.
So the 17th at 6 PM here,
Yeah,
all right, and then, are we gonna do the next week, or the 31st, you wanna do,
That's what I was gonna ask, because I'll be, if we have this on the show, I'll be down there pretty much all week, the week after.
the week of the 23rd?
twenty-third, you will be.
Okay.
If we have to set the show, if not, we won't.
Why not do it, why can't we do the week of the 23rd?
She's, well, Rebecca
She'll be
said she
on.
won't be here.
Now, that week I'll have a Tuesday night meeting, BZA, and then
So with the
the
31st work?
26th.
31st, yeah.
That'd be
And that
fine. So
would
whatever
be
you want.
every other, on a
31st?
Tuesday.
I'm retired, I can do
Okay.
it anytime.
All
So
right.
March the 31st is 2 weeks from tonight?
Well, you'd have.
It's 3
no,
weeks.
2 weeks from the 7th.
So you would be, your Tuesday would be on the 17th, and then 2 weeks later, the 31st, so that'd be on that Tuesday.
17th.
Yes,
Or-
that'll work for you.
Yes, that'll work.
All right, so good, 31.
So we'll have the sheriff here on the 17th, and then I'll have ambulance, fire, and rescue for the 31st.
At 6 PM?
Yeah. Does that work?
Yep, fire and rescue.
Whoever you want, just line them up.
Perfect. And then maybe on the 31st, we can set another couple of meetings out, and
Yeah.
And-
Well-
And whoever we might want to come.
back to what Marshall said a while ago, you can kind of look down here. I mean, do we need to,
The Judicial Commission.
do we need to go ahead and
How
say,
much did y'all
listen?
give them an increase last year?
I did give them one.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did, we
It
get
was, what was it?
$3,000-$4,000.
Hang on, I can tell you.
That's
But
fine.
they again, too, had not had one for years, and they were like $7,000.
It went from 20,000 to 27,000.
Who we looking at now?
Yeah. The
That's
judicial.
almost 2,000, a little over
53,
2,000.
yeah.
I got it.
So, and it was how much, 20 to 27?
Yeah,
And now they want to go, what?
to
You
40.
can't do 35% in 1 year.
No.
I mean, if they sucked it up that long, they need to suck it up a little longer.
Yeah, I
Give them a little bit, but not that much.
Yeah, I
Heck,
mean, let's,
no.
you said it was 27 now? I mean, we could round it out to 30 and give them each $1,000, and it'd be a fairly decent
She's-
raise.
She's
They gave
requesting
them
$47.
$2,300 raise last
No,
year.
40. Did I have put 40?
Yeah.
I got
but they had to have
47,
one.
220 is what I see under that line.
Who we talking about here now?
Yeah.
Not that it
Who
makes
is
a
the
difference.
Is that what
That's the
y'all got?
total.
Yeah,
amount.
It's Andy Bryson.
Andy Bryson and Tom Hall.
Tom Hall?
That's the total of the budget.
That's the whole budget
And what do they do?
She's asking the.
Well, they're on call 24 hours a day for every third
Week
week.
at a time. Week at a time.
So for that whole week,
That's the overall.
if the jail calls and says, hey, we got a DUI, you
They
need to
drop
come sit bond,
everything.
they have to drop everything, go down there.
They
and
can't
sit bond.
plan,
Take that
pretty
to
much
go get me
can't.
that.
You can't do anything for that week.
I think they make $1 an hour.
Yeah, it's pretty much
Maybe
what it
we'll
was.
figure out
We
what
figured
you,
it was about
$1.17
an
or
hour.
$1.18.
Yeah,
Right.
but they only work once every 3 weeks.
No.
I mean, a week every 3 weeks.
They're on call.
On call, a week every 3 weeks. They might
I didn't
go
see you, Ed.
20 times in one day, and they might not go at all one day.
Yeah.
Right.
It
It'd
is-
be interesting to see how many
Cover 17
times
weeks,
they're
I think,
actually
pretty
called.
Well,
Because I'd
they,
rather,
that,
but I'd rather pay them, $25 every time you go
Per
over there.
call?
Yeah.
Per call, yeah. Then you know,
I don't know if
It's
they
kind of like
do
the
that.
No,
Dodge
that-
City when
I
you
mean,
get
that-
$25 per arrest.
that's
I'd- I'd say
$16,000,
Sometimes they
you
have
can
a
do a
lot of
bunch of
There is,
$25
but there's
calls for
sometimes they
that.
have none.
Right, I know.
It's just hard to budget for that, but
No, we budgeted for,
Well, it's
for
hard to
whatever,
ask
for
somebody
some
to
number. If
stay
you go
there.
over it, then we go over it, but if we don't, then we carry that money over into the next
I'm
year.
pretty sure them are not easy to get. A lot of people ain't gonna wanna do that
Well,
job,
there's-
get up anytime.
Well, that's what I'm saying, there's a lot of
time.
people that wouldn't do that just because they're not gonna plan that way, sit there the whole week and not do anything.
It's,
for-
it's,
in
it's,
case,
is
that's what-
Tom retired?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know Andy's retired,
And Terry-
Tom's, and
Terry's
so they're pretty much,
So do they just sit by a phone waiting that week?
well, they carry
They
a phone
carry a
with
cell
them.
phone on them.
Okay, they can go wherever, as long as they don't get out of the county.
Well, they could get out of the county, but they're just gonna have to turn around and
Well, a
come
lot of
back.
times, even if they get out, they'll get somebody else to stand by for them
Yeah.
until they get back into.
They work it pretty good to where if I know you're going
They
on
work with each
vacation,
other.
I'll swap a week with you, or we'll cover it in some way.
I'm not trying to be hard on them, I'm just saying, we got $16,000, 35% increase in 1 year, that's a bodacious jump.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
I'm not for that much of an increase either.
So going back to that though, did we go down here and did we just put out?
Bodacious, is that a technical term?
Pretty much, yeah.
Do we look at these and tell everybody, hey, look, by looking at these right now, I can tell you, you're gonna have to take at least a certain percentage
Yes,
cut?
and I didn't
We
have
need-
time.
You gotta get, you gotta get in line with,
I
No,
think
he did
you have to
4%,
look
it's
at each
like-
individual
at
each-
department to see
Yeah, yeah,
if
yeah,
they
you're
can.
right, you're right.
Because some
Because-
departments don't have
That's
insurance.
correct, yeah, you're right.
And you wouldn't be right.
Yes,
But
you're right.
it's
If
something
they
you
don't
could
have an
do, but
increase,
wouldn't
I
be
don't
right.
think you wanna ask them.
I was
Well,
gonna try to go through and figure.
I was gonna say,
one
is
that
that-
had
is
an
that-
increase, but I didn't have time to get it done.
Is that something like we dedicate a whole meeting to? After we meet with the sheriff and then go back and look at each one
Or
of these?
should we do
I
it
think
before
it
we
would
meet
be
with
a-
anybody?
And in the meantime, we can think about what would be an equitable
We gotta
way
look
at
to
this
drop
first
everybody to
before
get
we-
Do we
within
do that?
what
The
we.
margin.
Yeah, if we say we're gonna,
Look at it
we'll
before we
increase 10%,
decide.
the most we'll increase, then
Before
you
we
could
talk
go
to
down there,
anybody, right?
it wouldn't be hard
I
to work.
agree.
So maybe get the sheriff, the sheriff and them other three out of the way and then come back and do that individual.
I think we might ought to do it before we talk to anybody.
I mean, if you do it before you talk to them, then you tell them all, you gotta cut and then come see us? Or do you wanna
Give
figure
them
them out
You
first?
get them to
I
cut.
think.
Or
Ron's
they're asking
first.
some of the other ones, like he said, not asking, are you gonna ask those? to
That's the
cut?
reason I say we need to look at it before we talk to these people.
Well, one of the things you're talking to them is that we got more money here than what we can afford. And we're gonna have to cut
Yeah,
back
'cause you're
some,
looking
and
at,
everybody's gonna have to cut back a
Am I
little bit.
reading that right, $172,000 increase for Darrell, in just payroll? But that's all payroll, ain't it?
Mostly, I don't,
Of
Of the
yeah,
172,000, how much is it, 90%?
oh, at least, yeah.
Well, my number's cut off.
And we
What's that
just
number?
gave him a seven,
That's what I'm
why,
saying, so
the increase last year,
What's that number? Yours is cut off, see, it's 10.
What did I cut off?
The number, what's the number?
Oh,
Sheriff's
54110.
It's state mandated raise and 3% increase for staff, that's what that is.
And I did go
Did he
line
get
by
a
line.
state mandated
and
raise this
look,
year?
But,
Darrell did.
yeah, he does. The officials get 3.5%. So,
we have to pay that. but-
Yeah, we get away around that. There's actually a bill, and I don't know if it'll pass or not, and I don't know if he's got it in his budget or not, but AOE is going to be on the same pay scale as the elected officials. You know, before it was, they were, about $6,000-7,000 less.
Susan gets like a 1.8.
Well, but I mean, you remember Matt got like 60,000, everybody, or 62,000, everybody else got 70.
Oh, right.
Well, there's a bill out there now to put him on that position on the same level as everybody else. So he would get like a $6,000 increase
Okay.
compared to them getting a $2,000 increase because they're trying to bring him up. I don't know if it'll pass or not, I just read it. the other
So
day.
they're working on bills right now?
They are.
Why, some of that's gonna affect our budgets.
It could on Matt's.
Well, I tell you what will affect our budget is that if the governor holds true.
On
I
the
read-
teachers and,
No, not just that, is that the county is supposed to receive, the last number I saw was over $300,000 in surplus dollars.
That would be one.
yeah, but that's gonna help our
We had to
budget.
use
That's
it
not,
for something.
right?
It
Yeah.
is
Is
in
it
categories, yeah, it is designated in categories, roads,
But still,
but still, right, I think it's titled maintenance, capital maintenance. So I've got to peel the onion back exactly, there's
Well,
4 different
But then
categories
you have to have
for
one
this
for that,
surplus
I think.
dollars.
let's say we
Right.
get that $300,000, can we put $100,000 in the
Yeah,
capital?
she'll have to
I-
add.
That's a good question, again, I didn't know, I just
That'd be
read
wonderful
it,
if we could.
I just read
And you
it.
put 2 more cents in there too?
And actually, it had a list of every county, and I think the number was $303,000 for Cannon County.
It's based on something, ain't it?
Yeah, and then there's so much going to the city of Woodbury also. And this, again, is part of the governor's plan, surplus that he's going to kick back. And I don't know how to budget for that. I mean, that would said, if we get this $250,000 on this, and it did like last year, it won't come until August. It'll show up as a direct direct appropriation, and they'll have to put it over in a bank account, so that.
Well, we'll have to go ahead and set a budget to do some of that work anyway.
Correct.
Because that's gotta be done, whether we
That's
get
right.
the money or don't get it, we gotta plan on it.
We do, and right, and we can do that reasonably. Again, we got a timeline, we